Oh yeah. So now
we're going part of the
do you want a whiteboard, Zach, or do you want?
Yeah, I go right now. I'm gonna write here.
Okay.
It's not it's pretty simple. We're just gonna go over the D's and A's.
Hey, Zach.
D's and A's? Yeah, we're gonna go D's and A's. Who knows? It's only a small dude. No. D's and A's. No, I'm just kidding. I think a lot of you are pretty good. Our rookies are awesome. I don't know if y'all look at our top rookie list lately in the company, but 8 of them are y'all. So that's a really big deal. So a lot of that means that y'all are selling people that probably aren't like y'all for the most part. Y'all happen to notice that for maybe some of you that y'all are selling people that are like y'all for the most part?
Wait, that are
like that you're very similar to.
I sell old people.
Yeah, I'm similar. Okay.
Yeah, that's similar to you, Freddie.
That's a good thing then. Okay. Perfect. Well, sales is just like dating, okay? We gotta identify who we're talking to and we need to figure out why they want to buy. Everyone's a buyer, okay? But if we're not selling them the way that they want to be sold, you're not gonna sell them, right? Just like your girlfriend. If you're not loving her the way that she needs to be loved, she's gonna break up with you, okay? So, the first big one, right? This is the one that scares everyone at first. Who is this guy?
Lamont.
Bull.
The bull.
Bull.
What do we know are bulls? What type of people are bulls?
Mean.
They're mean. What do they look like physically?
Swole.
They look like Zach.
They look like Zach the Solar Guy. They're usually older white men, usually middle class and higher. It's guys that don't have a lot of time. They want to know straight to the point. I have guns, I have dogs. What do you want? Get off my porch. Right? That's who they are. So how do we combat that?
You get right to the point.
Reciprocate the
That's your
energy.
mirror.
Mirror. That's a good one. Yeah.
Who did you get that from?
Got that from Lamont.
Hey, yo, you get that?
Yeah. So
Where'd you get
they're super strong people. So in order to get to them, we have to make sure we're strong people. If you're not as confident as them, they're gonna run you over. You're gonna be off the porch telling that guy's a dickhead. Okay. But the thing is, bulls want to buy. They buy everything, believe it or not. They just want to know that you're confident enough to sell them something. Okay. So just make sure y'all are just as strong as they are. Don't give in. Oh, what do you need? You're like, oh, sorry, I'll leave. Yeah, don't do that. You know, hey, real quick, my name's Zach. I'll be super quick. What do you want? What do you want? I'll show you what I need. How about this? Can I step right down, please? Okay, when you do that, bulls want to be led, just like y'all do, okay? All right, so now we're going to go over the exact opposite of that, okay? This guy is called a sheep. This is the exact opposite. What is a sheep to y'all? What is physically a sheep? Who is that?
Control. Quiet.
Physically, what does a sheep look like physically? An old lady.
Yeah, old.
It is an old lady. It's a small little timid girl that, you know, is super nice and they're super friendly. They come out, they smile at you, and you're like, oh my God, I have a deal. They're gonna let you go all the way through the deal. Yeah. They're not gonna give you a single objection, right? And then you're gonna get out the door and go, I got one spot, ah. And then the text shows up and they're not gonna answer the door. Okay? Why are sheep like that? Mike, why are sheep like that?
They don't like confrontation. Very low assertiveness. So
Yep.
they'll just let you keep doing it.
Is that what you were doing yesterday? Similar?
No, mine was a tiger. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so sheep, they're real shy. They're not gonna say a whole lot. They don't like confrontation. So the big thing to make sure when you know you're getting a sheep is when you're talking, they're just letting you talk and they're not saying anything. Okay. Right? So you're just talking and talking and talking. You're like, normally by now they tell me they're not interested. Normally by now they're asking me how long your contract is. Normally by they're not going to give you any of that. So you have to stop and recognize that they're just letting you talk. And you have to say, am I going too fast? Is there something I'm glancing over? Right? Is to ask them those questions. Make sure they're engaged. Make sure they know what you're doing. Right? And then let them feel heard. If they don't feel heard, they're just don't let you get all the way to billing and they go, I don't want this anymore.
How do you sell a sheep, or how do you soft close or lock down a sheep?
I think sheep is just making sure they have what they want.
Off button.
Yeah, it's making sure they haven't given you an ejection, so you're just talking and talking and talking, you're just assuming it's the doorbell camera, but she has a 3-year-old and she wants an indoor camera because, for whatever reason. Okay, so you need to make sure it's like, is this something that you're wanting? Let's make this fit for you. Okay.
Another thing I like to use too, like when I talk about the advertising, we're like, hey, we want you guys to do good advertising for us. If someone asked you about this, what are a couple things that you would like? Like, if someone asked you what you like about ADT, what would you say? And then it almost helps them sell themselves on the advertising. Like, hey, we need you guys to be a good fit for us. We want you to put the sign up, but we want you to use the system. How do you think you would use the system? What do you think you'd like about it?
Yeah.
And I shut up and then I let them talk.
And that's a good point, because I was gonna say, make them ask you questions. Make them, like, almost sell themselves, like, hey, are there, like, stop periodically, be like, do we have any questions, like, is there any concerns up to this point, like, stuff like that.
I'd also say, yeah, just do the question based on, like what Ron was going over. If you ask him, like, if you put yourself in burglar's shoes, where do you feel like you would break into your own house? And then start getting them to think about, like, break-ins or fires or medical emergencies, especially for, like, a sheep. Fear is, like, the strongest motivator, so if you paint the picture enough for them to feel like they need it, then they'll keep it.
Yeah, definitely make sure they're on board, because those people will 100% leave you hanging, so. They're always nice though, they give you water and let you sit in the AC and stuff, but. Okay, next one. We're gonna hunt this one. What does this guy look like? An owl.
Cooper.
Koopa Blakemore is the definition of an owl. Okay? It's usually a nerd, right? It's a guy that does, he's an engineer. He's the tech guy at his company. He's the electrician. He does everything himself, right? These guys are gonna sit there and they're just gonna listen. They wanna see what kind of BS you got that's about to pour out of your mouth, right? And when you say something they don't like, they're just gonna, okay, yeah. All right, I'll call you tomorrow. So with that being said, the owls are the biggest TIO people. They gotta think it over. They know everything. They're gonna know everything. They're gonna ask you a billion questions, and they're gonna psych themselves out of it because they've asked so many questions. And they don't want to do it anymore because they're like, that seems like a headache. So, how do we overcome an owl, Cooper?
How do you overcome an owl?
How do we recognize there's an owl?
Even though they can definitely ask too many questions and kind of overwhelm themselves, I think it's good to be able to answer their questions, especially if you can give high-level answers that show you know the product.
So it's know your information.
Know your info, know your product.
Know your info. If you don't know what you're talking about, you'll lose an owl.
I think, and then with the TIO stuff, just telegraphing over and over again, today, doing it today, so that they're priming them for that, and so they're not being set out for that big TIO because they already know you said today, and you're even like leading them on, like you've already been thinking about doing this, obviously, so that when you do get to it, it's not like, oh, I didn't make impulse decisions. It's like, no, yeah, I have been thinking about doing this, so.
You wanna know how else we identify owls? Is we look at what's in their driveway. We can even do that with the bulls and the sheep too, but like bulls, what do bulls drive?
Big jacked up trucks.
They drive F-150s, bull. They got marine stickers on their back and ass, right? We know that. And then when he walks out, he's got tattoos all over his arm. That's a bull. Right, and then an owl. Do we know what owls drive in their
Prius.
bingo? And they drive Toyotas. Right? They drive Toyotas.
Little smart car in the driveway.
They think about things. They do all the research, right? Just like the alarm system. They're gonna want to compare this, that, and the other. So how do we make them go with us today rather than looking at other things, right? How do we do that, Mike?
Yeah, something like for sheeps and owls, something I like to say, I'm like, hey, I don't want you to do anything that you're not comfortable with. So let me just answer all your questions, then you can tell me what you think. I'll do like a pullback, like, hey, I don't want you to do anything you're not comfortable with. All the neighbors that have actually heard me out, they love the program because it makes sense, but let me just see if it makes sense to you. And then you can do your transition after you took the pressure off. Because if you start like being super aggressive, they'll get freaked out. So I'll just do a pullback. and then it will let me get further into my sale. And then they'll feel comfortable after you spent 15, 20 minutes with them. They have that barrier up front, like bulls and tigers is what Zach's gonna go off next. They don't have any like wall, so you can be more direct with them. With the owls and the sheep, they're gonna have like, they have low assertiveness, so you just have to take a little bit of time to get them comfortable with you, and then you'll feel that barrier go down, and then they'll be easy sales after that because they trust you. So I think taking some time with them and making them feel comfortable helps a lot with sheeps and owls.
Is there anything else we're gonna go over for Al? They're gonna cover it, but.
Oh, one objection they often have, I've had this a lot of times, is, well, I could probably install this stuff myself, I'm gonna have the cost, and that's a tricky objection.
Yeah, they have to do things themselves. No owls, for the most part, like their Simply Safe systems and their rating systems and stuff like that. So definitely making them feel like even though it's, we're gonna take care of it for you, it's gonna get done. And that's the thing. A lot of owls like to talk themselves out of doing it anyway. So
I think also for an owl, like, we overcomplicate it sometimes, so it's like knowledgeable about the product, but keeping it simple.
Let's hear about it.
Oh, Sebastian Canofel.
Let's go.
all right, so on to the next one. These are everybody's favorite. The tiger. What does a tiger look like? Do we know? No. Tigers like to jump on the deal, man. They have scat packs in the driveway. There's a 392 in the driveway, that is their credit score. So when you meet these people, you make sure to run that credit today, okay? You're gonna open up, you're gonna say, I'm Zach, we're giving away an alarm system. Here's how it works. They go, sign me up. We're gonna go, well, hold on, big dog, let's make sure that credit's right, okay? So when you meet these people, don't waste a whole lot of time with them.
Thanks,
That's a real life thing. So these people are usually in lower income areas. That's why we love knocking Jit Hood, right? It's because they like to talk to you and they want it. But at some point, Jit Hood's not that fun anymore because they don't pass that credit. But yeah, usually lower income people. So there's not a whole lot to it, but when they do it, just make sure you pump up their energy when they do qualify. When they qualify, give them a high five.
And make sure you do your normal sales process with a tiger.
Yeah, don't run through it. Like, just make sure you match energy and do the same process. They're not gonna want you to be super quick and you're gonna think it's a lay down, but still at the end of the day, they still get the billing and you can still jack that up and lose your deal. So make sure you're still just as thorough as with an owl as with a tiger, but be a little bit quicker. They want it and they think they can afford it. So yeah, they get definitely. They drive scat packs and they drive Tahoes with 24s and they have air conditioning units in the living room. So when you see all that stuff, that's them. So do you have any questions over the? That's it.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
We are officially done with St. Joe. We killed it. Not even close. So, yeah, today we're going to be moving to Gladstone, which is like 10 minutes right here. So,
Let's go.
Next week we'll probably move the meeting to 1 o'clock. So you guys have a little bit more time. Go to the gym, do your deal. And then we're also going to switch up. We're also going to switch up the bands. So
Today?
these are the new band groups right here. Real quick, we can do a quick Q&A with any, because obviously we're going to be on the doors in like 5 minutes. Is there any question or anything like a rookie like, hey, I have a meeting to meet up with a manager, I have this problem, I have this struggle, is there anything that you guys feel like you need help on or extra training or anything that we can go over real quick?
Walkthrough? Yeah, walkthrough.
A walkthrough? In the house? Like getting in the house, what to say?
Yeah.
Alright. Here, let me get my hat real quick.
Yep, this is the inside of the house. Can we go back outside?
Yeah.
Transition in and call my.